What's happening, everybody? Professor Mike, Coach T back. Another week. Happy Monday, everyone. Still probably in lockdown, man. It's going to end soon, I promise. All right. Today we're talking about ending the fight, though, ending the match. Super strong from the mount. The mount's a great position. I love it. Love to get to the dominant position. This was popularised really by Roger Gracie and everything that he did in competition. We're going to talk about the cross choke from the mount. Really, really powerful finishing position. And the reason I like it so much goes back to a video we put out a few weeks ago about staying on top. Even if that choke does not work, we're still in a fantastic dominant position. We haven't abandoned the mount going somewhere else trying to finish. We're still in a great position. We're still applying lots of pressure. And we have options then, if that doesn't work, to come off and start to think about different types of attacks. All right, let's have a look at what I mean. Coach T is going to be on the bottom. I'm going to mount my opponent. Okay, we've talked before about low mount, high mount. We've talked about principles of the mount, so we don't need to go through that again. Just move back, Coach T, a little bit. Okay, we're going to say today we've done the job of beating our opponent and getting to this high mount position. All right. From a technique point of view, this in itself is something that you need to practice. All right, the fact we're sat on our opponent's chest, particularly against larger opponents, means that it's quite an unstable position. So we need to get to places where we're able to manipulate our own base, maybe by bringing our knees a bit wider. Maybe we use our feet on our opponent's hips to anchor ourselves. And we feel confident and comfortable staying in this position. All right? Let's talk about attacking our opponent's neck from here. Regardless of the defense our opponent's using, the fact I'm on the top and have good leverage and good gravity on my side means I should always be able to feed this collar hand deep and secure. Okay, just like we did from the back, or like we do in close guard, we'll open this collar and create a rail. This time 4 fingers will go inside that rail. All right, and we're running the rail along the crook of our thumb and our first finger. All right, and I'm pulling slightly on this lapel, pushing all the way to the floor. I want to get, again, my opponent's neck in the crook of my wrist, which means I have to get my thumb around the back of his neck. That places the radius on the carotid artery. All right, remember, if we get this this strangle hand, choking hand set, 80% of the job done. All right, so we open up and we're in. Coach T's being nice to show you the position. Of course, he'll be defending this. From there, we have options. We can come through this way. All right, cross collar choke. For me, the problem with this is I'm tying both my hands and I'm vulnerable to being bridged off. So for me, I like to stay out here where I can apply some base if needed. All right, and one of the ways I like to do this is by bringing my elbow down to my opponent's sternum. Applies additional pressure on his chest, gives me a bit more of an anchor. Notice this grip hasn't changed. Okay, now I'm searching for this far collar. What I like to do is put my head to the mat at a 45-degree angle. I know I'm vulnerable from being bridged this way. All right, I'm sitting slightly onto this side, 60% weight here, 40% weight here. Head is going to go to the mat to stop my opponent bridging me that way. Elbow on the sternum cuts down the bridging options as well. So I come round here, head on the mat. Now I can search for this collar. I'm aiming for as deep as possible on the neck with my thumb inside. So I have 4 fingers on this side, thumb in on this side, and I'll come through so the ulna on the wrist fits into the carotid artery there. So through, good grip, around the back of my opponent's neck. You can see how deep that is. All right, I'm out for base. 60% weight here, 40% weight here. Okay, elbows on my opponent's sternum. I create an angle, head goes to the mat. Now I can bring my arm in and I'm searching for that little bit of fabric. I get a grip. I make the grip. I close my fist. Now when I want to finish, I loop through to the top, the choke's on, and I place my head back to the mat. Very strong finish from there. Okay, remember the point of vulnerability for yourself is when you lock both your arms in. So from there I would slide my hips slightly back, head touches the mat, again staying low, my knees might come out slightly as well just to give me additional base. A lot's going on. Someone like Roger Gracie makes this look very, very simple. There's quite a lot of nuance movement going on here. Okay, so even if my opponent defends the neck. By opening here and sliding through, even if he puts his hand in there, I can still beat that hand and punch through to the mat, taking my grip. Now I'm vulnerable to this side, of course, so I make sure I put 60% of my weight here, and my hand goes out to base. So if my opponent does try and bridge, I can stop it. Okay? Head comes to the mat at 45 degrees, hunting for this column. Thumb goes in as deep as I can. Once that grip's set, I can loop it through, punching my wrist to the mat again. Both wrists now are on the mat. Okay? Now from here, I don't flare my elbows, I keep them tucked into my hips, and I put them onto my hips. So when I press my head to the mat, I can actively push my hips back, and that forces my arms into the choke. Okay? One last time. Get to the high mount. Be dominant. Through. 60%, 40%. Walk around. Head on the mat. Find the collar. Take a grip. Take your time here. Loop. Get the grip. Elbows to the hips. Look at my feet. Look at my opponent's hips as well. And now, from there, I can basically push my hips down into my opponent and finish the match from there. Worst case scenario, thanks Coach T. Worst case scenario, your grips aren't set enough. I mean, they should be if you've taken the time to make sure they're precise. But if they're not, you can abandon that position. You're still in a great position. Okay? Hope you enjoyed that. See you next week. Take care.